Espero que nadie se ofenda, pero hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo.
Balcão da área, deu para ir em choque, cruzou o Gilberto, que confusão, vai ser o primeiro, tirou para dentro! Marca Darwin, é Benfica, é Benfica, é Benfica! Ele vai atirar! Ter um corte absolutamente fenomenal da parte de Otamendi, vai a Rafa isolado para o golo, a chapelada, tirou para dentro! Voltava o golo do Ribatejano, é Benfica, é Benfica, é Benfica!
Só nós sentimos isso.
Good evening. Welcome to episode 99. We're almost at 100. A Dutch surprise. We have a lot to cover. We're back today after a week last week that we didn't have a podcast. I was traveling for work, so things got hectic. But we're back today. With me, as always, I have Bill, I have Penny, I have Oscar. Gentlemen, how are we?
So very boys? Good.
Good. My audio good? No issues?
It was a little off before.
It's good. It's good now, I guess.
We're good now. All right. I got out of the ocean. All right. Good. Today we got, we'll talk about the big game last week in Amsterdam. Ajax 0, Benfica 1. A lot to unpack there. We'll talk about the Champions League draw. How are we feeling about who we got? Could we have gotten worse? What are the confidence levels there? We'll talk about Benfica 2, Estoril 1. Game yesterday that was a snooze fest, depending on how you want to look at it. But I would say there's not much to say about that game. There are a couple talking points that we'll get to, but overall not a very exciting game. We will talk about, we're coming up on 100 episodes of the podcast. Obviously not all the English version. We alternate between the Portuguese and English version, but kind of get your thoughts looking back on the past 99 episodes and where you think we've improved and how you would describe the journey. I mean, I guess the number one thing that stands out to me is since we started this, the men's soccer team hasn't won a goddamn title. So impressive that we've had 99 episodes and not one title to talk about. How disappointing is that? Talking of titles, the men's volleyball won the Taça de Portugal yesterday. So again, thankfully, someone's winning titles for this club because the men's soccer team's not capable of doing it. And the female women's soccer team, they have the final of the Taça de Liga coming up this week. So hopefully another piece of silverware for the team. Before we get started, just want to let everyone know, if you could, give us a like, give us a share, see if we can get more people in here on the live. Para quem esteja a seguir em português, se o vosso inglês não for o mais forte, esteja à vontade de deixar os vossos comentários em português na caixa de comentários. Nós iremos abordando esses comentários e não esquecer que temos o nosso podcast em português com um painel diferente, quarta-feira a partir das 21 horas, hora de Portugal. Por isso, estão à vontade de participar aqui no nosso cantinho. Versão em inglês, à vontade, mas se quiserem em português, quarta-feira às 21 horas. And one more thing, we reached 22,000 followers on Facebook a couple days ago. So it's been a good trajectory. We've gained about 2,000 new followers just on Facebook in a matter of like 2 weeks. So maybe we'll hit 23 before the next game against Braga in a week and a half. So hopefully we continue that trend. Ajax 0, Benfica 1. Let's get started here. We had 2-2 draw that we went to Amsterdam with. Benfica starts with Vlaco Dimos, Gilberto, Otamendi, Vertonghen, Grimaldo, Rafa, Tarat, Weigl, Everton, Darwin, and Gonçalo Ramos. A game that was tough, but we managed to squeak it out. Kenny, I'll start with you. What's your take on this game? I know it feels like an eternity ago, but looking back, how are you feeling about that game? I think now we're able to speak to it a little bit more with a cool head, less emotion associated to it. But how did you see that game, and what was your feeling after the fact?
Well, first, I just want to start off with, we're a week into daylight savings time. I'm just glad that Oscar isn't confused on the time because his clock's set at 7:10 right now. So I'm glad that everything's still running on schedule on his side.
It's a well-oiled machine down there.
I can't even tell the time on that.
Good thing for iPhones. Good thing.
It's just there. It's just there. Yeah,
it does it for you.
It's there for decoration. He doesn't use it.
It's still ticking. Yeah, man. So it's been a while. What can I say about the game? I mean, I thought we hung in there. This whole draw, I was thinking we were gonna get blown out by Ajax, and somehow we hung in there.
Oh yeah, by the way, I know that just came to Oscar's mind because he got a little smirk. They owe us a shot.
I hope you guys have it.
So if you guys, Bill's got one. So
where's yours, Kennedy?
I don't have anything up here. I'm gonna have to go grab something.
So while someone's talking, Kenny might take a trip to get himself a beverage. But carry on, Kenny.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was surprised. I don't think we've played all too well all year. I didn't think we stood a chance in this draw, to be honest with you. But we hung in there. I didn't think we had the best performance, but defensively, I mean, I thought that was a really good performance as a team too, as a whole. We stood our ground, and then we got the winner at the end, thanks to Darwin. So yeah, it was quite the stunner. I mean, the game has been a while, so it's kind of lost a little bit as to how it kind of played out. But I mean, the goal was tremendous. I thought, we were all super excited after. I know we were on our chat and we kept talking about it. I was hoping that we actually did the podcast that night, because that was one to celebrate out of not many moments that we had to celebrate in the last 2 years. So good performance, definitely caught me by surprise. We'll see what happens next round.
Do you think that, before I pass it on, do you think that the result as a whole was unjust? The outcome?
No, because I thought that I thought that we went in with a good game plan. And we probably had our best, Ajax still dominated the game to me. They had the most chances. They played the best. They couldn't find.
They had 16 shots, but they had 2 on target.
Right. So, I mean, they weren't I wouldn't say they were dangerous opportunities, but they had more chances than us. They were there they took it to us. But we, as a team, defended well. I thought we defended well. I thought, we would probably end up tying that game as well and going into extra time, maybe PKs. But I'm glad we pulled it off, man. I mean, it's sometimes it happens the other way around, right? We've been in situations where we've dominated and we just haven't been able to pull it off. And thankfully we were on the other end of that. So congrats to the team. I'm super happy. And, if I don't know if we can share this, but the 4 of us are, I don't know. You can share it. No,
you go ahead.
We are headed we're going to end up going to Lisbon to watch the next match, the first match day against Liverpool. So we're super pumped about that. We'll be there. And I'm glad we had the opportunity to go there.
Yeah, quarterfinals isn't something that is common, let alone being able to watch it in the flesh. So it'll be exciting for sure. Bill, thoughts on this game? How did you live it? And over the 2 games, did you feel like the result was just, or do you feel like, if there was justice in the game, Ajax should have gone through?
You know what's funny is I just thought of this game both games actually reminded me a lot of the PSV games. where we kind of took advantage of our chances in the first game, and then the second game was us kind of defending for our lives and the team kind of coming together and making a fucking Trump style wall in front of OD and keeping the result. But I mean, I think between the two legs, I would say it's probably just because I think in the first game, that second half, we created a lot of opportunities. We kind of took it to them. We just couldn't find a third goal. And then I think in this game, in the second game, like Kenny said, they created chances, but I'm trying to think back now if any were like clear cut, dangerous, like they should have scored on that one type of thing. And I don't remember any of them.
The one that they scored that Haller was offside, or the guy that passed the ball to Haller was offsides.
Yep.
And then they had the shot from the outside or the edge of the box that Weigl cleared poorly and it went over. They had a shot that Audi tipped over, but it looked like the ball was going over the net anyways.
I can't,
they had the chance
like,
at the end, which was offsides, but like Audi made there was 2 shots on target, so he made 2 saves, and I can't, apart from the one that he tipped over, I can't remember the other one.
Yeah. So I mean, with that, I mean, I think it was just. I think it's we got a little luck with the ref on that the goal, because I don't think once you look back at the replay, that's not a foul. And with the linesman was like,
I don't know if
linesman was like
hits
right
him and
there.
he trips on himself.
Yeah, it just in the replay, it didn't look like the defender got. I think it was Ramos, right, that went down.
Yeah, in the corner. Yep.
Yeah, it didn't look like he got him. Typically, we're on the other end of that, right? We're not so lucky to get those type of close calls, and in this one, we got it. And credit to Darwin for getting up and fighting for that ball, because he wasn't alone. Like, it was a crowded area, and he fought for it and put a nice fucking header on it.
He went up well. I will say that I do think that the goalie has some part to play in that goal. I thought that he came out poorly.
He hasn't played in like forever, right? Because he was like suspended,
he was out
and just came back
because of the doping case. He just came back recently. But their goalie that played against us in Lisbon, I believe, was unavailable as well due to injury or something like that. So they've had goalie issues all season, but it's not because of the goalie that they didn't go through, I think.
They should have kept Varela.
Yeah, maybe he would have put in a couple for us. Oscar, do you agree with these guys, and do you think that the result overall is just?
I think Benfica wanted it more, right? That's where I stand by. But Ajax, they had the possession, they had the ball control, but I think Benfica wanted it more. Like Mikey said, like. The chances they created or semi chances they created, yep. Audi had no saves. I mean, our defense like basically didn't. Even when we're up like 1-0, I'm like, oh shit, there it comes. Like there's gonna be like now chance after chance after chance, and we're gonna be like get lucky not to concede one. And there was nothing. I'm like, I was surprised. I was surprised that the Ajax was like not as pressuring as I expect them to be.
I'm gonna interrupt you quickly. Do you think that? And this was a note I had, is the substitution at halftime, right? He took out Taarabt and brought in Maite. And did you guys get the same feeling that I did, and analysts say the same thing, that I thought just as much as we've criticized Nelson Veríssimo throughout his tenure as the interim manager, I think that he deserves an applause here, because I thought he got it spot on bringing Maite in there. And I think he stabilized us a lot more than Taarabt was giving us. But I'll let you continue, Oscar.
Yeah, but like even the first half, with that up in there, like right. I didn't see Ajax creating anything special, right? And it could have backfired on Veríssimo, because the first half, like they weren't creating much. He took out Taarabt, which is one of our most creative players in the midfield, by putting Maite, who is not a creative player, right? So it basically is like hold the result and let's go to PKs. But
Maite helped us keep the ball a little bit more. I felt.
Exactly, but that's not what Maite's been getting us used
Correct.
to.
Correct.
So he took a gamble on oh, maybe I see this in practice, he can pull it. But Maite has not been doing that in the season. So like it was basically taking a chance. Oh, let's see if Maite can hold the ball. But this is a high stakes chance. Like you lose this game, you're out. But it worked out for him. I'm not saying it didn't work out. This is a game plan. I think I'll say for Veríssimo worked out. Like I said for Jesus, it worked out against Barcelona. It was a great game plan to let them keep the ball and then just take advantage of our chances, and we did. And we had that one chance we scored. I mean, to be honest, Estoril had more chances yesterday than Ajax did in that game.
That's true. And we had the chance at the end with Yaremchuk, where he just seemed very indecisive on what he wanted to do and didn't even end up taking a shot.
And just to top it off, coming from a Porto fan that talks shit about Benfica all the time, like my buddy Rob Clare, you guys all know him. He goes, you guys deserve this one. You guys definitely wanted it more. For Portistas to say that about Benfica, we definitely deserve that shit.
And I was just going to touch on this. Red Baron made the comment. I have the impression Ajax thought we were an easy draw. They underestimated us big time since the day of the draw. And I was just going to ask that, right? Oscar, you said we wanted it more. Did you get the sense, and in that second game a little bit, I got the sense, whereas it was almost like they had this overconfidence, right? Like, let's just going through the motions. The goal is going to come. The goal is going to come, and it never came. And then in that second half, they then started to get anxious, right? Like, fuck, the goal's not coming. What's going on here? And then we scored, and I felt like they never found themselves after that.
Dude, just to think, they beat Portugal's champions 9-3 on 2 games, 9-3, and then they go play a third place team this year who has not been doing well, been getting beat by that team that they just beat 9-3, and they're like, "This is won." I think the overconfidence, they thought it was already won, and it's to their surprise, that's what happens.
Not to score. I mean, these guys are like the leading, goal scorers in Europe, I think, right? And not to score a goal at home. Yeah, that's impressive.
And again, like Bill said, right? PSV, we did the same thing, right? We went there and they didn't score. Although I do think that defensively we weren't as much in panic mode as we were against PSV. I think PSV, we were down a guy for most of the game. But I do think that with PSV, it was literally like all hands on deck, fucking just kick it as far away as you can, and hopefully it doesn't go in. But like Oscar said as well, right? Like I felt like we were. I never got the sense that we were under so much pressure that we were going to fold at some point, right? Like they would get there, they would move it around, but they never really created anything clear cut. And the only two that they created that were clear cut were offsides, right? The one in the beginning and then the one at the end. That Audi made a massive save, right? But he ended up being offsides. That save was literally that's like 3 yards away. Mm-hmm. And his reaction to get down and save that was incredible. I wanted to throw I think it's going to be an interesting debate here, and I heard it mentioned in our WhatsApp group, and I'm not sure if you guys had seen it, but people saying that this partnership of center backs may be one of the best we have ever seen in our lifetime at Benfica. Jan Vertonghen and Otamendi, I thought were incredible in that game. But wanted to get your thoughts on it, right? Otamendi got smashed in the head like 3 times. Dude gets up. He's legit like a robot. Doesn't stop. But wanted to get your thoughts on that take, right? Do you think it's one of or the best partnership that we've seen, right? I know we're going to go back to Luizão Garay, but like in terms of players and in terms of output, would you agree with that? Would you disagree with that? Kenny, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I still love the pairing of Luizão and Garay over Otamendi and Vertonghen, but and I've never really been high on Vertonghen, but he's been impressive lately, especially the second half of the year. He's pretty. I think Oscar said this in the chat. I think he's probably our most consistent center back this year. So they're just they've got age on them, but they're still playing well. They're a good pairing. I think they're right up there with Garay and Luizão. They definitely have more more international caps and things like that. So I think they have more experience than the other two. But they're solid, man. It's a solid twosome that we've had in a long time.
Oscar, what's your take on this?
No, I don't agree, and I'll tell you why. Because of goals, right? Garay and Luizão gave us goals, and these guys don't give us goals. Like we still remember against Juventus in the Europa, against Tottenham and all that. It was Garay and Luizão scoring goals. Like against Liverpool, Luizão scored a goal that we really needed to at home, right? Otamendi and Vertonghen don't give us that, which sucks because they are solid defensively. And but when corner kicks come, when it comes free kicks, we need those center backs to step up and score some headers, right? And unfortunately, we don't see this with this two-pair partnership.
If with Lucas Verissimo coming back, do you think this partnership maintains, or do you think he's better than one of them, Oscar?
I think with Lucas Verissimo on, if we keep all three, the best system is a 3-back.
But if we have to stay with the 2,
If we have to stay with the 2, Verissimo has to start. He's got to start.
Who would you take out?
Well, they're both at this case. At this, the thing is, like, Otamendi's thing is coming to an end, or Vertonghen. I don't know which one is like contract.
They both have a year,
right? So I don't know when they're gonna renew or whatnot. But I think Verissimo should be now coming back from injury, coming off the bench, type of thing, or playing the off games, and then once he's ready, full fit, I think one of these guys goes.
I know, but I'm asking you to make your choice. Who do you think you take out? Stop beating around the bush, caralho.
Dude, Verissimo is a righty, right? Otamendi is a righty. So we're going to put Verissimo and Otamendi both on the field?
Vertonghen and Morato played together, and they're both lefties. I mean, it's not ideal, right? But
I might leave Otamendi and Verissimo. And it sucks because I love Vertonghen. I think he's one of my. He's like I told in the chat. He's probably the most solid CP we have. Otamendi is our captain, and he's a guy that speaks.
Okay, interesting, Kenny. I'll pass it to you for that question before I go to Bill.
I 100% agree with Oscar. I mean, is he on schedule to come back this season?
He's already going to start. I don't know if he'll be ready to play. I don't know if they'll take a risk on that.
Right.
I think they'll probably let him run through. If we had to, he probably would be ready to play. But I think with the way things are going, they most likely would just let him ride it out through the off season and get him fit.
Yeah, not risk anything. Just ride these two right now to the end. I agree with Oscar. I mean, I would think, I would probably go with Otamendi and Lucas Verissimo, but it all depends, how it all shakes out for next season. I mean,
who plays on the left side though?
Huh?
Who plays on the left side? Because none of them, I never seen any of them play on the left side.
Yeah, but Mike's forcing me to make one. I wouldn't make one, right? I wouldn't make one. But if I had to, I would. For the same reason, Otamendi's the captain. I think he's more vocal back there, so I would start him, and then I put Lucas Verissimo next to him. But I don't think Otamendi and Vertonghen come back next year. It's either I think it'll be one or the other. And then,
so they're both in contract till 2023,
or maybe both are gone, and the new pairings, Lucas Verissimo and Morato, and I don't know. I doubt they both come back.
I think the future is that Verissimo and Morato. It's a lefty and a righty right there. I think they are the future, but I don't think they're ready for that right now. But I mean, Ferro and Ruben Diaz won as a campeonato, and they're fresh.
Yeah, that's true. Bill, what's your take on this partnership? And if you had to bench one, who's going to sit on the bench?
As for the partnership, I think it is. I wouldn't say they're like the best we've had, because I mean, just like these guys, I think we go to Luisão and Garay, and there was some Luisão and David Luiz. There was some, we've had some legit pairings in the back, but I think defensively, these two are up there. I think, like Oscar said, they do lack the ability to kind of put some goals in. But as a center back, center back, you're not counting on it. It's a plus. It's
an add-on.
Nice to have.
Yeah, and that's why the other two are on my top, because of that add-on.
No, I agree, and I like I said, I don't think they're at the top of the list. I think they're up there because defensively, I think they're solid, and we've seen in these games the way these guys lead from the back. As for removing one, I agree with these guys. I think it's Otamendi and Verissimo. I think the perfect center back pairing is you typically want one guy that's more fight and the other guy that can actually move the ball and kind of connect from the back to the midfield. And with Verissimo, I think Verissimo plays from the back well. And you're not going to find many center backs that have more fight and garra than Otamendi. But I think next year Vertonghen and Otamendi are back. I don't think we get rid of them, considering that Verissimo's coming off of this major knee injury. I don't think they're going to bank on him being ready to go right off the bat. I think for the most part, next year we'll have 4 center backs on the roster. I think it's going to be the 3 we have now plus Veríssimo when he's back. And I think they'll just rotate and pick and choose when guys go and don't. And I think with considering Otamendi and Vertonghen's age, I think that is a factor with if we get into Champions League, all these games add up, and I think being able to kind of rotate back there will be a big bonus.
I mean, they're only 34. I know that we talk about them, their age.
Yeah, but I mean,
Pep's out there playing when he's like fucking 38.
Yeah,
he's probably still the best center back in Portugal.
Seriously. I wanted to open this one up to you guys.
They
Paul
demand a high salary.
They do.
You think Otamendi's going to take a pay cut?
Not pay cut, but I think if we get into Champions League,
it'll help.
Think getting into Champions League will make a big impact.
But then also with the club looking to shrink the roster, right, and make room for the youth, I think that gives you a little bit more room for salary wise.
Otamendi's going to be your most expensive player. You're good. You're good with a 34-year-old making the top, like the highest paid player on the team
for 1 year.
If he performs the way he has, right, like,
and he's a captain.
Legit.
I guess you have to kind of weigh the balance, right? Like, what's the risk reward here, right? Like, you get a high paying guy, but he's got experience. He's respected in the locker room. He's a captain. He's a leader on the field. Or, right, like, do you pay someone who's, getting top dollar, not performing well, and, right, just out there collecting a paycheck, right? Like, I mean, I'm not the person dealing with the finances at the club, but from a risk reward perspective, I would think it's a no-brainer. Unless, right, obviously there's this request for like some stupid amount of money. I believe on the 3rd year of his contract, there was some trigger related to his salary, but I don't know for sure. But wanted to touch on this. Paul says, não podemos jogar com 3 centrais. I know that we've gone back and forth on this here, and Oscar, you just touched on it, but do you disagree, and why?
The reason why I like 3 centrais, and it's not like we've always watched Benfica play with a 4-back, right? But the players that they have for the full backs benefit from being pushed up, right? If we lose Grimaldo and we get a guy like that doesn't go up as much or defends in the back, then I get it. 4 guys in the back is the ideal. But Grimaldo, like we have always complained, he's not good defensively. He's better attacking. That helps him by pushing him up a little bit to a full back position instead of a right back, a left back. Diogo Gonçalves was the same thing. He's a winger and he was playing as a full back. Now he's not playing he can't play him as a right back because he's not a defender like that. So he has to push him up to a full back. That's why 3 centrais works for the players that we have now. Doesn't mean that next year we'll have those players, but I'm talking about now with these players that we have.
Fair. Kenny, Bill, anything to add to that?
I agree. I think it all depends on kind of how you build your team. With those 3 defenders, Veríssimo, Otamendi, and Vertonghen, I think as long as a team's built to play with 3 in the back, like those, the characteristic of those 3 players, I think fit a 3-back system. It's just dependent on if everyone else, the rest of the squad, kind of fits that mold.
Especially another thing, especially without a true number 6 or defensive midfielder, it's ideal to have somebody at 3-back that at least one of the guys can play almost that role, like move up a little bit and play that number 6 role, right? We saw with Pep at Real Madrid, right? He's a center back, but he played a number 6 role a lot of times in Real Madrid. I don't know if you guys remember that. But that kind of like even in Portugal, I think he played as number 6 a few games. Pep
did play in the middle sometimes, but not very often.
Yeah, but like having like a 3 guy in the back, like depending on what position, if you're moving forward or defending, it benefits the team, especially with the players you have around them. So for this system, for the Benfica players that we have this year, that's what I believe would work, is a 3-back helping pushing one guy a little bit forward.
Kenny, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say. I mean, I've always preferred a 4-back line, but I mean, it really comes down to the coaching and how he wants to put the tactics. I think right now, I mean, I know we don't have the personnel for the 3-back, but I think right now, we've seen a little bit of the team stabilizing in the 4-back system better than what we've played with the 3-back system. Like we were kind of up and down. We've had great games, we've had bad games, and this 4-back system is kind of, you know, I think more players, especially in the midfield. I think Tarats looked better in the 4-back system. Even Weigl. I mean, Weigel's been playing, you know, good all around, but like I think some other players have benefited from the 4-back system. That's my preference, but I'm okay with whoever comes in as a coach and what system they want to implement, as long as the players fit that system.
Paul says Jesus tentou esse modelo de jogo, não resultou.
I'm actually looking at the results. When Jesus has implemented that modelo, we had a lot of wins at the beginning of the season, a lot of wins, and we lost that one game against Portimonense 1-0. But if you look at the stats, it was like a legit, like a ball just didn't want to go in. It was like shot after shot after shot. We had all the possession, and the ball wouldn't go. 70-30 possession, and the ball wouldn't go in. We lost that game. And then,
one chance.
Right, and then we lost obviously against the Bayern. We should, depending on teams we play, and that's what Jesus fucked up, is he didn't change the system to adapt to basically. I know you're supposed to be play your team, and then whatever the other teams have to adapt to you. But you're playing at Bayern, you can't adapt to. You can't have Bayern adapt to you. You have to adapt to Bayern because they're gonna blow you out.
Same with Porto and Sparta. I mean, we looked awful in those games.
Yeah, exactly. So and it depends. Like again, you have the players you have. You have to use the best players for the positions you have, and the 3-back system worked very well until we got blown away by the big teams.
Fair. Okay. Let me get your MVP for this game. Bill, I'll start with you.
The whole back line? I mean, the entire team kind of, it was...
Bill, get your drink out, dude.
I got it right here, dude.
You got to take a shot. So for everyone that's watching and doesn't know, so in our group chat, Kenny and Bill were the realists, as Oscar would like to call them, and thought we had no chance of going through, which, in fairness, right, realistically, I think we all can agree that we knew it was going.
You thought the same thing. You just didn't say it.
I did not think we were going to get blown out. I thought we had a chance. Did I think we were going to go through? Probably not, especially with the second game being away. But these guys thought we were going to get smashed. I remember after the 2-2 draw at home, Kenny was like, guys, can we just relax because there's still another game? So we made a wager of them having to take a shot. And now these two fine gentlemen have to take a shot on a live podcast.
I'm pretty sure I said the combined score would have been like double digits or something.
Yeah.
Goal difference.
Bill
I legit was like, when we were all laughing at the sport thing, I was like, dude, we're going to get it worse. And these motherfuckers pulled it
off. You
off.
might still get it in the next round, but
yeah.
Hey, we'll get there. Bill, what's your beverage of choice over there?
I grabbed the smallest bottle I had over here. It's a nice little thing of Fireball.
All right. Why don't you pour that cup? Kenny, what's
I don't have a shot glass, so I'm just drinking straight.
Oh, you're going straight for the bottle. That's what I'm talking about.
A little Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. Oh, disgusting. So Bill said backline the whole team. Kenny, who's your MVP?
Darwin.
Okay, he got the
Game
goal.
Winner.
Goal point rating had him a 6.0. Grimaldo was the player of the match for goal point rating. Gilberto was second with a 6.3. Oscar, who's your MVP?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Darwin. I know Gilberto did have a phenomenal game. I saw that the guy was unbelievable. But Darwin, that goal was just, he almost cried. He cares.
Cares so much, bro.
I'm gonna go with Gilberto. I thought, and I think it's only fitting because I've criticized him a lot. I still don't think that he's an adequate player for him to be the starter day in and day out for a club like Benfica, but I think that with our options, he's done well, and I think he's our best option overall on that right-hand side. But I also wanted to give a word to the fans, 3,000 plus fans that were out in Amsterdam, made a ton of noise. A lot of the boys from our group were there making tons of noise, so hats off to them. Definitely a memorable one that they won't forget, and hopefully this next round will be just as memorable. So, bottoms up, gentlemen. Let's see.
We are the worst luck ever, dude.
Dude, if we go,
Kenny filled it all the way. Let's go, Bill. Fire it down. That's what you get for making bad bets.
Dude,
Toma.
Bill didn't even drink anything. Look at that, still at the top.
Só molhou os lábios.
Yeah, fogo, que é isso?
Hey, unsung hero to Gonzalo Ramos, dude. That
Dude,
kid
he's worked his
busted
balls off.
dude,
Yeah.
all over the field. I would love to know how much he ran that game.
I saw a stat, and I should have written it down, but it was like a stupid amount of kilometers that he covered.
He might not be doing a lot, but he covers a lot of ground, that kid.
He does. He works a lot. The next topic here, Champions League draw. So we get the fortune or misfortune of getting Liverpool. First game is at home. As Kenny said, what turned into a conversation of let's look at flights, right? I'm going to look at a flight, see how much it is. Then all of a sudden it just escalated really fast. And now we've all booked our flights and we leave next weekend to go watch Benfica Liverpool at the Stade de Luz, which should be interesting. But Bill, I'm going to start with you. What's your take on this? And again, be careful with what you say because we're going to have another wager here and you might have to take another shot. So how are you feeling about this draw?
I mean, before the draw, I think we've all kind of put out our hopeful picks, and Liverpool were way down on the list. Hey, I'm going to keep riding this negativity. As long as Benfica keeps winning, I'll take the shots in the fucking world.
I'll take as many shots
on this bottle all day long as Benfica's winning Champions League games left and right. I don't care. No,
were they the club? If there was of all the clubs in that pot, were they the one you absolutely wanted to avoid, or was there another one?
I mean, I think it's like 1A and 1B with City and Liverpool. I think they were teams I didn't want to.
But between the two, if you had to pick, if they said these are the last two, who do you want? Who would you have taken, Liverpool or City?
I think Liverpool.
You would take them over City?
Yeah, just on form. Like City, Liverpool in the moment are like, I mean, they've closed this, like, they had like a 14-point gap to City and have closed it to be like a point back or something. So, like, yeah
1 point.
Wait, so you're more afraid of City or Liverpool?
Liverpool were the team if I had to pick, Liverpool
is the one you'd want to avoid.
Yeah,
avoid out of all the teams.
Okay.
Yeah, I had City and Liverpool were my 1A and 1B, and if I have to pick a 1, then on current form, I'm going Liverpool.
How do you think it will play out? I guess let's go with the home game here, right? How do you think it's going to end up playing out? Do you think we have a chance? Do you think it's going to be a difficult one? Right? Liverpool's already been to Portugal this year. They had Porto in their group. What was this? 5-1, 5-0?
5-1.
5-1. Right. So they've been to Portugal before. Again, they beat a club in our league who's top of the league. We see what they do in Europe. But what's your expectation for at least this home game?
I think the strategy going in isn't going to change from like the Barca, the Bayern, this Ajax game. I think it's try to keep it tight defensively in the back and pick and choose your moments to hit on the counter and hope we can take advantage of any chances we get. I think it's going to be a game where Liverpool are going to have 70% of the possession easily. And I think it's just going to be Liverpool controlling the game and Benfica kind of picking their moments. It's going to be a hell of a test because their front three, depending, they can put two different front three out there and they're both deadly. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough test for our back line. And I think it's going to be one of those games where we're just going to sit compact in the back and try to hit on the counter.
Oscar, I'll pass it to you. How are you feeling about this draw? And I will ask you, Liverpool plays at Manchester City the game after the game in Lisbon with Benfica. With the 1 point gap and Liverpool depending on themselves, do you think that game could play into the approach or the mindset in that first leg for the Liverpool players, knowing that there's that big game coming up, and they could essentially leapfrog Manchester City and take the lead in the Premier League?
Maybe. I don't think Klopp is going to save any players. I don't think so. I think he's going to try to get a good, or maybe see the first game. He has a second leg at home, right? So maybe he will save players to then play we'll finish it off at home.
And now with the away goal not counting
the away
at
goals,
all,
well, he doesn't have to go and score away,
right?
So I think he might save players for that game. To be honest with you, thinking about it, especially because they're only 1 point behind Man City, which will work in our advantage. If let them like basically think little of us, and then I mean I had a feeling against Ajax, and I have a feeling about this home game, and that's why I'm going to it. So let's fucking knock on wood. Let's keep going, because I have this awesome feeling that we're gonna come out with a win this first game, and I love it. And it's gonna. I just hope Mikoli is there. Oh shit, no, he's in jail.
No, he's in jail. Maybe they'll set up a TV for him and he can watch.
Simon will be there.
I'll see. I'll definitely be there.
Joaninha said, I heard a phrase going around in the interviews that captured our attitude. Temos que saber sofrer, defender e jogar sem bola. I don't remember who said it, but I feel like it's going to be a similar situation against Liverpool, since we know possession will be high on their end. Yeah, I think touched on what Bill said, right? We're gonna have to know how to be compact, organized off the ball, and then when we do have the ball and set pieces and things of that nature, we need to understand where we are on the field and take advantage of that. Red Baron says they play Manchester City before the second leg and after for the FA Cup in Premier League. Isn't that right? I know that they play they play Benfica on the 5th. They play City away on the 10th. Oh, yeah, and you're right. And then they play at home with Benfica on the second leg on the 13th, and then they play in the FA Cup 3 days later away to City again in the FA Cup.
Yeah, they play City like.
Oh shit! They actually play Benfica right in the first game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So they play Benfica, City, Benfica
City. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So again, like I guess it all depends on like where they're putting their chips, right? And Liverpool obviously has the depth to be able to pull things off. But again,
they can rest the front three and still.
But that's the thing, right? Can it
play Jota?
Can it play into the mindset of the players, right? I guess time will tell. Kenny, what's your thought on this?
Oh man, probably one of the worst draws we could have gotten. No, I mean, I think I mentioned this to you guys, right? I had a feeling that the 4 top teams were going to draw the 4 remaining bottom teams, and
which is very weird, very weird.
Oh yeah, really weird, really weird.
Which is exactly what happened. And I even had this conversation with you guys of the top 4. Which one would you rather play? I think some of you had actually said Liverpool. I would have, out of all the English teams, I would have rather played suck-ass Chelsea. Definitely wanted to play them.
Me too.
But
B3.
Dude, I mean, Klopp's an awesome coach, dude, and Pep's an awesome coach. I didn't want to play either one of them. It's going to be a tough draw. I thought Ajax was going to be a tough draw, and I mean, what do I know? But Liverpool's a whole different animal. It's going to be tough. You know, even with, like, at least with Ajax, like on the counter, Darwin against their back center backs, like, you can kind of see Darwin maybe, getting into space, finding a way around. But dude, it's a whole different animal with Liverpool, with Virgil and them back there.
But they push up a lot, and that could be working to our advantage. We can counter on them, just like Barcelona pushes up a lot. These guys do too. So with open space in the back, it can work. I mean, we're not going to have any chances, but I hope we just have our cleats nice and affinadas, because we need them.
It needs to be like that Barca game, the first one. Like, the chances we get, we have to put away.
Yeah. And
we're not going to get many.
And defensively, we have to come out like as a team and defend, for the full 90 minutes. Audie's got to be on his top game. So, hey, it can happen. I do think we have a pretty good record against English teams.
We do.
In Champions League. So, but again, this is different. This is correct. This is like the German this is a German feel to this, English team.
Yeah.
It's totally different. So, whatever, we're gonna be there. So hopefully we experience one of those special nights. Because that would fucking suck if we get there and we get smashed. But
Red Baron says Seferovic is back just in time. Oh yeah,
Red Baron, I said we're not going to get a lot of chances. We're not like we can't have Seth up there. He needs 10 to score 1. It's not going to work.
What are you guys, Kenny? I'll start with you. Right, knowing that we're flying over, we leave on Saturday, the 2nd, so we'll be in Portugal for Benfica's game against Braga, and then we'll be in the stadium for the game against Liverpool. What are you most looking forward to on this trip and just kind of the experience?
Well, obviously the game itself. I mean, I've gone to the stadium, I've seen games there, but I've never been to a Champions League game. So just experiencing that atmosphere, that's going to be awesome. But meeting our colleagues over there, our guys from the Portuguese podcast, haven't met them. So getting together with them, the getting to the game and all that, just experience with them, that would be fun. Just getting to meet new people.
Bill, what are you most looking forward to?
I agree. I've luckily been to a Champions League game before. I think it was like 04 against Anderlecht. Zalovic scored in the luge, which was a great game, but it's definitely a different atmosphere. But I think I'm looking forward to the game. I think it's going to be amazing to be in the stadium for that. But I agree with Kenny. I think just getting together with the guys, the Portuguese podcast guys, and hanging out and having a few adult beverages, I think that's going to be probably the highlight of the trip.
Oscar, we got the Festa da Tio.
Festa da Tio. I think I'm excited because every single game that we've gone to started the luge, Benfica has won. So this is gonna be the
hopefully ride in that wave.
This will be the second.
And I know Tank's a part of this too, but since the 4 of us have done this podcast, Benfica hasn't won 1 trophy. So
yeah,
Mike,
99 episodes, and we've not won a goddamn title.
I think like this little combination together in a stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We might need, after this game, we might need to rethink this whole.
Yeah, we might just have to blow up the whole project.
But I'm excited to meet those guys. I'm excited to before the game, after the game, to see the how the environment. It's just I see it on TV and I never experienced it live, like on a Champions League type of thing. And I hope those English fans are not hooligans that start destroying us. On and off the field, on and off.
It should be interesting during the day in the city, for sure. I wanted to run through the draw real quickly. And
what are you looking forward to, Mike?
I mean, I've met most of them, not all of them, but most of them. So I've done that part. For me, it's really the atmosphere, right? Like, it's not right living across the pond, right? Us getting to an official Benfica game is tough, right? And I was able to go watch Benfica against Spartak in the qualifications. But even that, like, the atmosphere wasn't a Champions League atmosphere because we already had won 2-0 in Russia, right? So it was a very conservative atmosphere. It was good to watch. We won 2-0, but like, this is quarterfinals of the Champions League, right? Like, a club in Portugal doesn't very often get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. On top of that, against Liverpool, right? One of the continent's most elite clubs, right? Today, one of the best, if not the best, depending on who you're talking to, right? So being able to experience that in person, in our country, in our stadium, with people that for me is going to be like unmatchable. Like, the only thing that would, trump
Portugal
that would
game.
be
So sad.
right. Yeah. Or like a final of a Champions League. Right. But unfortunately, I don't think that we'll be able to experience that because of the money and investment that's in the game today. So we might not, the next time that we get in this position might be a while from now. Right. Like, we don't know. But yeah, I'm really excited to just live that moment and be in the stadium and the atmosphere outside the stadium. And I plan to, for those who follow us, to, have live Facebook videos. Hi to you, Oscar. I plan to have live videos outside the stadium and just kind of, giving everyone an idea of what's going on, what the atmosphere is like, talking to people, getting their opinions, English fans, Portuguese fans. So it'll be definitely, as a whole, like an incredible experience for all of us, for sure. So looking forward to it, and hopefully we can come away with a positive result to make it just even more exciting to have taken the trip. But like Kenny said, right, if we go there and we walk away with 5 in the saku, I think it'll be a tough. I mean, we'll drink after the game anyways, but
you'll have to drink your sorrows away.
Yeah, we have a dinner after the game with the guys. Well, I mean, we'll drink equally, but obviously if we get a positive result, it'll be a different environment. So looking forward to that. I wanted to run through the Champions League draw with you guys we did this last time and wanted to get your thoughts and see who you think is going to progress.
Who's leading so far? Because we all predicted before this.
I did, but I have to go back and look at it. I didn't write it down. I didn't have a chance, but I can go back to see. Chelsea, Real Madrid. Oscar, I'll start with you. Who do you think is going to go through here?
Man, it's tough because these two teams are good on now knockout phases. But Real Madrid is the champion of like this kind of like, they just knocked out PSG. I know they just got annihilated by Barcelona, but I think in Champions League they're kings of Champions League. So Real
Chelsea
Madrid
can't travel.
They can. The players just got to buy their own shit.
It's like us.
They're having a bake sale.
Hey, they can afford first class. All right, don't worry about it.
They're gonna have a bake sale. So who was your Oscar? Said Real Madrid. Kenny, what's your pick?
Real Madrid.
Is that because of Real Madrid's better, or your hatred for Chelsea, or both?
Well, they definitely are better, and I absolutely hate Chelsea. I hope Chelsea is like Leeds United. They just disappear for like years and years and years. And maybe someday in the long-term future they'll come back up to first division.
Why do you hate them? Because of the fans?
Yeah. I think they're all fraudulent.
You can probably take the S off of that.
It's a fraudulent team that just printed money, and everyone all of a sudden jumped on board like they were the fucking godforsaken. I don't know.
City now in PSG.
I hate their fans.
Title chasers.
Yeah.
Bill, it's a tough one for you, or is it?
Yeah. No, I mean it's like Oscar said. This is the Champions League. This is Real. The Champions League ball logo should be in their fucking crest. I picked Real to beat PSG. You can't go against Real in the Champions League. They just, no matter how bad they look, and like Oscar said, they got smashed this weekend, but it's the Champions League. Real will find a way, and they'll be on to the semis.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I share the same sentiment as Kenny. I don't like Chelsea because of their fans, but also because of, I'm an Arsenal fan, and they're from London as well. But I do think that Real Madrid takes this just because, right, even though they got smashed against Barcelona this weekend, for example, right? Like, I don't know what it is, but when it comes to Champions League, these guys mentally are turned on. It's like they flip a switch, like, all right, we got to fucking show up. And somehow they always manage to pull it off. Could they fall on their face this time? They could. I believe last time these two met last year in the Champions League.
Chelsea 3-1. Chelsea knocked them out.
Yeah.
I think I saw something that's like Chelsea's never lost a knockout round to
Real Madrid.
Real.
Again, anything could happen. Yeah. You would assume that given the dimension of the club, the players, the experience, that what's going on in the background wouldn't impact them on the field. If anything, you could almost look at it like as a motivator for them, right? Like, that's fine. You're going to fucking, sew our pockets shut and not allow us to do certain things, and we're just going to show up and shut everyone up on the field, right? Like, you could look at it both ways. But I just think that Real Madrid always shows up for this competition.
If Benzema plays.
Fair. Yeah, I think he's a big piece of the puzzle, as we saw this weekend.
Bill, are you Chelsea till you die?
or until it gets sold.
Yeah, or until
Until it gets
Abramovich is
sold.
gone.
No, dude.
Wait, when did you start? When did you start becoming?
Are there applications? So you guys Arsenal got applications
Wait.
going?
No, we don't
or-
need you. We don't need you.
Wait,
Bill,
You got
so
enough Grays. You don't need Arsenal.
Nah,
trust
When
me.
when
No
did yours
shit,
start?
dude.
When did you start becoming a fan of Chelsea?
when
Oh,
I
cue
went
the
there
music.
in
Wait, what?
2005,
2003.
Was it
2003.
Mourinho? When Mourinho went there?
It was right before he got there. Yeah,
So why?
Right before he
'Cause I was-
got there,
I was
He
there.
didn't even have a player. He didn't even know a player there on that team until Mourinho
Dude, I
brought
would-
Ricardo Carvalho, Paul Ferreira,
Listen,
and all those
you
guys.
all became fans
I
when
went-
Mourinho went there. Let's not
I
come
went.
on.
I at that time when I was. I forgot how old I was. I went to England.
I forgot how old I was. That
in
shot
England for 2
messed
weeks.
him up.
I was in England for 2 weeks, traveling for soccer, and then we went to a game at Stamford Bridge, and the atmosphere and everything. I was like, all right, this is the team I'll support.
Who's the guy? Who's the player on the? Who are you a fan of? Duff? Was it Duff? Is that a
Yeah, Good Johnson.
Damien Duff.
Good
Damien
Johnson.
Duff? Yeah, Damien
Johnson.
Duff.
Damien Duff.
Good Johnson.
Kicking
Hey,
it down. Kicking it old school.
who did Biggie say? I was a fan since 97 when they had I don't
It
know.
was
who.
The Italian guy.
Oh yeah, the
what's
Italian
his
guy.
name?
Zola.
Zola.
Yeah, Zola.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Guy looked
plays
it up
bad.
on Google.
I
Yeah, of
will
course
say
he
this
was.
is out of all the matchups, this is probably the one. This is like a real matchup. This is like probably the one that's going to be an actual,
Really?
tight game.
So I'll pass it to the next one, and I'll start with you, Kenny. City, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, I think City wins out pretty easily too.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think?
No, I agree with Kenny on this one. I don't
Easily?
think. Yeah, I don't think so. Everyone thinks about Atletico. They think about how they are defensively. This team isn't the same. This isn't the stereotypical Simeone team. Like they're not that stone wall in the back, hit you on the count. Like they're just not that good this year. And I think they got a little lucky to get United and kind of get a team that was
Or United got lucky
worse-
to get them. You could have got smashed by
worse than
someone
they
else.
were. Yeah, but I think City wins this hands down.
Interesting. Oscar, do you agree?
There's my upset. I think City stays right there. That's my upset.
So you don't think Benfica goes on?
What are you talking about? I thought
You said there's your
You
upset.
said that's your upset. So then Benfica's not your upset.
No, I know Benfica's not going to go through.
Oh, okay. So that's what I said.
I told
So
you Benfica's going to win and to lose. That's different.
Okay.
The feeling is on the lose, not a whole. As
So
an
you
aggregate.
think Atleti
Athletic
takes
goes through.
City out?
I think they do.
You know, I have this feeling that Atletico Madrid could, just because Simeone is like one of those unpredictable guys. I know that they're not the same team that they were a year, 2, 3 years ago. But being, his mindset, I'm sure he's very familiar with Pep and how he approach. Like, I don't know. It just seems like it's written in the cards. And we talked about it on our group chat, right? City hasn't proven at the big stage that they can pull it off, right? On paper, I think that they should win. Do I think they're going to win? I think City's going to go through. But I don't think it's going to be easily like Kenny and Bill think. What do you think, Kenny?
Well, I was just gonna say. So, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you guys took United over Atletico Madrid, but now you guys are taking Atletico Madrid over City.
I took
Oscar is not
Ronaldo. I took Ronaldo over Atletico Madrid.
I want to say I think I did the same thing.
I took Ronaldo. I didn't say Manchester United sucks, but Ronaldo has Atletico's number. So I thought Ronaldo would have pulled it through. Just like he did against Juventus against Atletico. After they losing 2-0, they came back and won 3-0 because of Ronaldo. So that's right. That was my prediction. But now this game, I think City might come into this game thinking just like Ajax thought about us, and it's going to bite them.
And don't forget, City's also has those games in between.
Yes,
schedule.
Yes.
So just like we had that discussion earlier with Benfica being benefited, if we could City have that in their mindset as well? And it's very possible, right? Because Atleti's not fighting for the title, right? They're 12 points out of the title.
7 games in a winning streak. I mean,
I think it's going to be at least a 3-goal difference after aggregate.
I don't think that's don't think that's easily though, right? Like they could win 2-0 in the first game, right? Like I don't when you say easily, I'm thinking like, 2-3 goal margin in the first game and like 2-3 goal margin in the second game. 3 goal aggregate for Atleti against City, I don't think is easily. I wouldn't classify
Okay.
it that way.
I
right.
could see a 2 to 3 goal margin in these games.
I don't think I'll
In
put it this way.
each?
I don't think Atletico wins one game, but I think City wins both games. Well, maybe one is 1-0.
I don't disagree with that. But I think it'll be tight. Like I think the game in Spain, I could see it being decided by 1 goal or even a draw. And then City wins it at home. I believe the first game, if I'm not mistaken, is in
Manchester.
In
Yeah,
Manchester?
I think it's at City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that could turn the tables, right? Because City's at home first, right? So like going to Atleti is not going to be easy, right? So maybe they turn the Jets on in that first game. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
There's 2 teams in this whole competition that I consider choke artists. Like it's a PSG and Manchester City. Until one of them wins it, to me they're going to be always semifinals or quarters choking.
So you don't.
I mean, you can put Atletico Madrid in that too.
But Atletico's got to the final and legit lost some PKs.
City did too. City lost in the final last year.
They choked it away. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
they made it to the final.
I believe in
choked
Pep.
it away.
I think Pep's the best manager in the world. I think he will win the champ. He might not win it this year. I don't know.
How did Manchester City lose last year? Who did they lose to?
Chelsea 1-0. Havertz scored.
Lucky.
Of course.
The Chelsea champions of Europe is the most disgusting thing I think that comes out of my mouth.
It's true. So
SLBES says Atletico's been in 2 to 3 Champions League finals in the last 10 years. They have experience that City doesn't. Fair, but they also don't have the players that City does.
City's been in the semis like every year.
Yeah, and choking
the last 10 years, and they made it.
Yeah, Joaninha makes a good point. You could put Benfica in there. How many finals have we been to? I think we've lost our last five finals, 5 European finals, 5 or 6.
Maybe more. It might be more than 6.
Might be more. Yeah.
Wait, City's made it to the semis the last 3 years.
City,
I believe they have.
Who have they lost to? Have they been up to Bayern won it the year before that? No.
Bayern won the year before. It was in Portugal.
Yeah, against PSG.
So I want to know who City's choked to. I'm curious now.
I got it right here. So 2021 was where the hell is it? Oh, so City beat PSG in the final and lost to Chelsea. So that was last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the year before,
that's a choke. I believe that's a choke.
The year before,
that's a final, so I give him credit.
City lost to Real Madrid. No, City beat Real Madrid in the round of 16 and lost to Lyon in the quarterfinals. That was the year that it was in Portugal, that Bayern Munich
Is that the COVID
beat Barcelona. Year? Yeah, that was the year that Barcelona got smashed by Bayern Munich in Portugal. The finals
against
decided to lose. Yeah, against Lyon. The year before that, we had Manchester City lost in the quarters to Manchester United. Manchester City lost on aggregate to Spuds. Remember when they tied 4-4? They scored, right? They scored in the last second, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a semi?
Yeah. That's what Tottenham
that was the quarter.
Ajax went far, right?
Yes. That was
Tottenham beat Ajax in the semis, and they went to the finals.
Correct.
Against Liverpool, I believe. Right? Liverpool?
Yeah, and both of those ended in the last minute. Tottenham, I believe, scored, or City scored, and it was offsides in the last minute.
Scored,
and it didn't count.
Yeah.
Yep. And then in the last minute against Ajax, Tottenham scored like 2 goals in 3 minutes and went through. And then, we know how that ended.
So far,
that
was
in the
2
quarter.
big chokes.
Yeah, that was in the quarterfinal.
Third time's a charm. They're gonna win it this year.
Let's see.
Joanina said it's a curse. Red Baron said it's a bit more since we haven't won since 62. Yeah, I believe it's like our last 7 finals or something like that we've gone through. We've lost them all. Villarreal, Bayern Munich.
Bayern.
Oscar.
No, I'll this one I'll take Bayern. It's not going to be. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it's going to be closer than you guys think. Villarreal is a compact team. I think it's going to be more close, but Bayern goes through.
I agree.
So you
Kenny
think
says
all the
Bayern.
games are going to be close then?
No, not. I don't want to be negative, but
Not Benfica second
Well,
leg.
if we pull off a result at home, then that second game's going to be tragic.
Kenny's over here trying to get Oscar on the record to say certain
I'm just
things.
trying to understand like his.
Kenny's like
what he's thinking.
dropping these questions and like, oh, really? So let me hear what you have to say.
Kenny's got his pen ready to go, ready to write down when Oscar
Meanwhile,
said
Oscar's got words written on his notepad. Like when he says this, don't
it.
react.
Don't say this. Don't say this.
If Kenny
this
asks
is
me a question,
probably-
don't answer.
I'm just curious because like to me these matchups are like the 4 top teams to me have like an easy road to the semis.
yeah, but there's gonna be an upset.
I agree.
There's always an upset.
I agree,
and I hope it's Benfica, but I'm thinking this round is going to be Atletico. I think that's my upset.
But this is like Champions League. This is what they want. This is the set. If they had to pick a pairing, this is like what they wanted. The top 4 have
Of course,
a pretty easy road to the semis.
exactly. No, and I don't know how.
Kenny, it's like
Weird
you're
this
saying
is.
UEFA manipulates the draws.
Yeah, I am saying that. I am
Okay.
saying that.
All right.
The
Got
balls
it.
are hot.
SLBS says Bayern's the strongest team in the Champions League. My pick to win it. We shall see.
Bad pick.
I think Bayern beats Villarreal, but I do agree with Oscar. I think it's going to be tight. Unai Emery, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but in Europe, he always seems to make things difficult. I mean, this guy's won 4 Europa League titles, 3 in a row, and could have won 5 when he took Arsenal to the final and lost stupidly to that
who?
blue team.
To
That
who?
blue team in Baku. Very disappointing. And then the last one, I have to get your opinions on this one. Benfica Liverpool. Oscar, I'll start with you.
Benfica. No, I'll be honest. I feel like Benfica is going to have a good performance in the luge. I think because the second leg is in Liverpool, it's very, very tough. I think if Liverpool doesn't get a result against us away at home, it's gonna be the toughest game to watch as a fan. And obviously nobody's gonna be stupid enough to say that he's gonna go through. So I'm just gonna go Liverpool.
Okay, Kenny.
No, I agree 100% with Oscar. I think even if we were to pull off a 2-0 at home, I think Liverpool can easily flip that result at home. So I think it's going to be very tough, but I'm also on the trend. I mean, I'm picking against them, and I'll be happy to drink again if it happens. So, but yeah, Liverpool.
Bill?
Yeah, I'm hoping and praying for a good performance by Benfica at home, but yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. I mean, Liverpool is probably at the moment the hottest team on the planet right now. I mean, it's going to be a tough battle with these guys, and hopefully we can maybe make some magic at home, and we'll see what happens.
And wait for them all to get COVID away.
Yeah.
How does the bracket shake out? Do we play the winner of Real Chelsea?
No,
No,
Bayern,
we play the winner of Bayern Villarreal.
Yeah, I wish we'd get like Chelsea.
I'm gonna agree. I think that obviously Benfica, the odds are stacked against us, and the likelihood of us going through is very low. But my hot take for this is going to be as follows. And here's my wager. If Benfica wins the game in the first leg at home, Benfica goes through. And if that isn't the case, if we win at home and don't go through, I will take a shot for each of you on the following podcast. That's my wager. I don't think Benfica is going to go through, but I think if Benfica wins the game at home, I think that we have a very our hats in the ring, and even though it's away to Liverpool, I think that that's going to galvanize the team extremely because that's all they're playing for. So that's my hot take.
Do you guys Do you guys like that we're playing at home first, or would you have rather played the second leg at home?
No,
No,
opposite.
I'd rather play. Yeah, I'd rather play at home the second leg, just because you got the crowd behind you,
Yeah,
right?
the fans.
Like you said, regardless of what happens in that first game, right? Like we have to go to Anfield, right? And Anfield is a hell of a place to play, right? The atmosphere is electric. The fans are very close to the field. Like there's just a lot of different elements there. But we've done it before with a team that wasn't as good. Obviously, Liverpool wasn't as good as well, and history is history. But
Oh no, it's not.
it is. I mean, unfortunately, history doesn't play for us, right? Doesn't win games. It's a very different story this time around. But SLBES says Benfica loses in the final and the curse continues. God. That would be
Where's the final this year? Oh, Paris.
Paris. A lot of Portuguese people there, so that'd be good. All right. Moving on quickly to go ahead.
Liverpool lost against Inter at home on this last round.
Yep. Inter played a hell of a game in that second leg as well. So again, let's hope that there's a couple injuries, maybe a little bit of COVID, and maybe their mind is on Manchester City, and maybe we can sneak in, Darling, nag bags another couple of goals and can get us through. But again, realistically, Liverpool wins this one, unfortunately. The only thing that I wanted to talk about Benfica 2 Studio 1 is, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Rafa scored that ridiculous goal. And then he didn't celebrate. He chose not to celebrate. It was a very weird situation. And they asked him in the press conference after the flash interview after, like, what do you have to say about the goal? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. Right. He just seemed grumpy as hell. And when he was substituted off, he seemed grumpy as hell. Do you guys read into that at all? I'll start with you on this one. Do you read into it at all? Like, is it just he could have had a bad day? People are saying, he's pissed off that Fernando Santos didn't call him to the national team, right? Like, and fine, right? Like, if it's Fernando Santos didn't call him to the national team, like, Benfica is Benfica, the national team is the national team, right? Like, if you're upset at Fernando Santos for not calling you to the national team, then in the flash interview, make the comment, right? But like, I don't know, moping around like, you're upset on the field when you're representing your club is a bit ridiculous. But then again, I will also say that he can be as upset and pouty as much as he wants. If he scores goals like that every week, I could care less. He doesn't.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, he can, like, people have bad days. I played soccer and I was pissed off and I was not smiling, or even if I.
But you didn't score a goal like that.
Yeah. Oh, I scored like 5. It was on the co-ed league though.
Yeah. So, running backwards.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, as long as he does his job on the field, I don't give a shit what he comments, doesn't comment, if he smiles, doesn't smile, if he cries, doesn't cry. Score goals, and that's all I care about. And goals like that, man, that's gonna be a goal in history. I think we talked today about Pavoski's goal against Braga. This is one that we'll talk about forever. Like, it'll be 10 years down, 20 years down. And we'll talk about the goal that Rafa scored from their own 18. So just keep doing it. And I think a lot of it has to play with not getting called for the national team. I can
actually confirm what Johnny is saying right now. He took down the only picks he has on here are just random at home.
He did, but
one slow sound pick. There's nobody.
He had done that before this game.
Yeah, so maybe he's pissed off about something. Maybe because Pizzi got let go.
I was just gonna say, I think he misses Pizzi.
Maybe he's the next one gone.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't like the fans still.
He's recruiting him to go to.
Is his contract?
What's the team?
No, I think he's got like 2 more years.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
I wonder if he does answer stuff like that. Why'd you take all the pictures from Benfica down? Like, there had to be some kind of background.
Tweet him, dude. Tweet him.
He doesn't even answer a question to Benfica TV about the goal he scored. Do you think he's going to answer that question?
He's been grumpy for a long time, I feel.
2024 is his contract.
Okay. Maybe they told him they're not going to renew. I don't know. I agree. Clearly he's upset.
Let him be mad. If he's going to fucking score worldies like that, dude, fucking be mad every day of the week.
Yeah, but he's, apart from the worldie, he's been non-existent for the last fucking 2 months.
And he has had that pouty, moody I mean, he hasn't been that great. I mean, I think against Ajax, he like sucked. What was his rating that game?
I'll pull it up, but I agree. He wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't good at all. He was.
I mean, even against
4.6.
Even against Estoril, up until the goal, he didn't fucking do anything.
been flopping around the field. I remember that against it. He kept I don't know. His attitude stinks. It's stunk for a while now. We really don't talk about it because he is one of the better players, even when he isn't, But it just goes to show, like, if he was happy, clearly there's something there, right? He's not happy about something. If he was happy, maybe he could be an even better player. But yeah, he clearly had something to prove, and with that goal, I think he probably indirectly made some sort of gesture to whoever he's trying to impress or show up for. So it is what it is. As long as he keeps, producing and showing up and playing, I guess that's what's important. But you also want guys that want to be there, right? If it's a matter of like, he's not happy with his contract or he's not happy or whatever, like, it could be a contract thing, right? I don't think he's probably one of the top players on the team. He's probably not paid like one. Probably, and not. I'm sure that probably frustrates him too. So maybe it's a contract negotiation thing, and he's not happy about it. But yeah, I would like to see players with more. And again, I know Oscar doesn't think it's important, but like I prefer a player like Darwin that like even when he misses, he's trying to pump up the crowd. Right? You saw that against Ajax. He was trying to pump up the crowd and get everyone. I prefer players like that. Whether you believe they want to be there or they bleed the Benfica, on their back, it is what it is. Like, but for me, that means something. And, I prefer that over a pouty player on the field, regardless of how good he is.
Bill, what do you think? Red Baron says time to sell him. Adios. À altura de fechar o ciclo do Rafa antes que se torne Pizzi.
How's Pizzi doing, by the way?
Oscar, how are you feeling?
Has he played 90 minutes yet?
He hasn't played 90. I don't think he's played 90 minutes the whole time he's been there. The last 6 games has been 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
But he has a goal,
minutes.
Right?
Oscar,
he did in his first game.
You have the notification set up? Or are you getting notifications on that?
Who's he play for again? I don't even know what Turkey.
Bazak Shakir.
Shukashir. Oh.
No comment.
I remember when he scored that goal.
First time, dude, he was all over it.
Já está a meter golo, já está aí.
I never said that.
Yeah.
Bill, what's your take on Pauli Rafa?
I mean, it could be a million different things, but at the end of the day, like you're a professional player. Like you can't let that shit affect you. But clearly, it has because. I think like Kenny mentioned, it wasn't just Sunday. Like he's been with the poutiness for a while and he hasn't been performing for months now. But I mean, when you score a goal like that, it takes a back seat and all you think about is the goal. So as long as he can pull shit like that out against Liverpool, like he can beat Pouty and cry.
I'll celebrate for him. I will celebrate for him. I'll do all the celebrating.
If you pull something like that against Liverpool, I'll run on the field with him, dude. Like,
dude, we're not going to bail you out. We're not going to bail you out. Fica's law. We're not coming to get you.
Full this.
Okay. Dude, this guy is has the most assists for us this season.
Dude, I believe he's second in Europe behind
Muller. Yeah, but he has the most assists for us this season. He has probably one of our top scorers this season, and you guys are still talking shit. So I ain't gotta kind of fans you guys out. No, I don't know. It's almost like when Pizzi was doing all the shit as a midfielder, best goals in the world, and
Oscar,
you still let him go. Let him go.
Who's saying to let him go? I'm just asking. Has he been playing well since Jules left? Has he been playing well?
Because they changed the formation, dude. Players don't adapt like that.
Dude, but it's every year. Every year with him. He starts off hot, he looks great, and then he falls off.
Tell me one player that is consistent the whole year. One player.
Weigl.
Weigl consistent the whole year.
He's been pretty damn consistent.
Weigl had a spell of 5 games. It was a nightmare. I agree with
that. There's not one player that goes the whole season with me. Like João Mario is going through a slump, right? There's players that go up and down during the season. There's he's been used almost every single game, every minute. He comes out now at the end of the games, but it takes a toll on your legs, and not every player can be consistent the whole season. That's why we have 23 players on the team, not only 11.
I think the Fireball's getting a bill.
He doesn't.
A health check over there. Yeah, Weigl definitely had 4 or 5 games where
a disaster.
He looked awful. The last like 3 games, I feel like he started to come back into it. But
Rafa, it's every year. Any big game, he typically
Every player every year has ups and downs.
But Rafa, every big game, doesn't matter if he's playing well or not. Any big game, typically Rafa is a no-show. They had 1 or 2. I think he had one against Porto where he showed up. But typically, if you go back and look, every big game, Rafa's a no-show.
he didn't show up against Porto, and he didn't show up
Ask-
against
ask-
Sporting.
But Oscar,
Put up a petition to sell.
You probably just had one of the goals of the year, and how do you like? That's your reaction? I don't
Dude,
understand.
he must be pissed about something, dude. Obviously, if he took out the Benfica pictures from his Instagram, there's a backstory to it, right? So he's pissed about something. You don't know. Well, let's make assumptions now, like we did again on the locker room.
No, but like but there's something to say. Like, keep that off the field. Like, that's still not why
He did keep it off. He did keep it off the field. He said, "I don't want to talk about it."
No, but in the field,
that actually creates more questions than
on the field sulky.
So he should come. So he should go to the media, so people like us can make assumptions.
Don't
not media or BTV, right? Ask them a question. He's going to, I don't want to celebrate the goal, or I don't want to talk about my goal because if he could piss me off, he did this, this, and that. That's creating drama outside of the block.
No, don't act like a chooch after you score the goal. Don't act
Dude,
like
if you're pissed off at something, nobody's gonna make you smile or laugh or celebrate. You're just not. If you're pissed off, you're pissed off.
Probably the goal of his career.
Dude, what if his girlfriend broke up with him? What if his
what
dog
the
is
fuck
sick?
does that have to do with the game?
I don't know. It has to do with the game.
God, if that was the reason, oh my God, mentally he's not stable.
What if his dog is sick? I don't know. It could be something.
All right, very well. Let's finish this off with the word game. So I'm going to shut the chat off here. And I don't believe we did these letters last time. So for you that are watching, you can join the conversation. I'm just going to shut the chat off for these guys so they don't, cheat. All right, so the chat's off. The first letter that I picked here is D. And I'm going to start with Bill because he was the first one here. So Bill, D. Can be the first or last name.
What is this?
Player for Benfica. First name or last name starts with a D. Go. Can't reuse the same name. Com caralho. Takes you that long? For this.
I can't think of anyone with a D.
Oh my God,
D.
can I go?
David Luiz.
Are you kidding? All right, David Luiz, Kenny.
Darwin.
Oscar.
Dimas.
Good one. Bill.
Fuck.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut the first. Kenny.
I believe we had a Diego on the team.
He played for the Portugal national team.
Diego Souza. Oscar.
Diogo Gonçalves.
He played.
Yeah.
For yeah.
The national team. Yeah, he did. Kenny.
3, 2, 1.
4,
Danilo.
2.
Danilo. Danilo plays for Braga.
No. He had a Danilo. I think he came from.
Danilo from PSG was on Benfica's youth team, but he never played for the A team.
Hey, no, it doesn't count.
Oscar, you need to finish it. What's your D?
Derlei.
I literally just thought of that one. I was like,
damn, you guys are slow. I can't believe no one said Diogo Gonçalves.
We had a Danilo.
I said Diogo Gonçalves.
Danilo Barbosa da Silva. He played for Benfica at one point.
Shut up, dude.
He did. I'm gonna look him up.
Go, Vibid. Joanina said Darwin, David Luiz, Red Baron.
He was on loan from 2016 to 2017.
Send me that link.
He did. He played. He was at.
Tell me how many games he played.
2 appearances.
I don't know who
Kenny
this guy
remembers.
is.
Kenny remembers.
I don't know how to send it. How do I send it to you?
Put it in the private chat.
Copy and paste. Yeah, copy and paste, bro.
What, the link?
Joanina says Deku. He never played for the A team. All right. So that one might be a little bit of controversy because
I won. I don't give a shit.
Kenny threw a name out there.
Kenny's.
Yeah, just because you guys don't know, just Google Danilo Benfica. His name's Danilo Barbosa, and he's in a Benfica jersey, number 32.
If you look at the history, which is 1904 until now, guarantee.
Yeah, you're gonna find someone.
Dude, this guy played with Louis Zhao. He played with Louis Zhao. In
You
Champions
just,
League
you
match.
just said, I guarantee Diogo play for us. You didn't even know Diogo played
Dude,
for us.
listen.
He said Diego. He said Diego.
Yeah.
He didn't say Diogo. Diego. He said.
I know.
All right. So that one's got a little asterisk. I see this guy's picture. He doesn't look familiar to me. But again, doesn't mean that wasn't a valid answer, Kenny. So I apologize. That's
It's all right.
my fault.
He's just not well known. I remember him. I had his jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Ruben Diaz, Di Maria. Damn, that's
Oh
a few
my God.
I
others.
had those guys lined up.
Jesus.
David Simon's another one that came to mind.
I had the VCML right here. Look, I wrote him down.
But full this, you write fast, huh? Next letter. I'll start with Oscar since he won. T.
Asterix.
T for this.
Oh my
Three,
God. You should start with
two,
me. I have the
5, 4, 3,
Tim Pinto. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Two.
He's already out.
1. Oh my God.
Thiago.
Kenny.
Fuck.
No, it goes
Yeah.
me next, no?
No, I go backwards.
I
Go.
go
I
second.
set the order.
Fuck.
Oh,
Bill. Conqueragno.
oh man, now I know it. Can I go back?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God.
It is hard. It's harder than you think on the spot.
Can I say it? Can I win it?
I'm going to say your favorite, Oscar. Mikey. Tavares.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 3 of them.
Or Tarat?
Tarat.
Tomas Tavares.
Dude,
Nuno Tavares.
my natural instinct is like ex players, not the current squad. So I don't even like think about the current squad. Fuck.
Unbelievable. SLB SS Thiago, Bruno Nogueira says Tomas Thiago Tarat.
Thomason.
You have Gaston Talment, the Dutch player that played in the Vietnam years. Who else did we have?
Talishka.
Mm-hmm.
We had 2 Thiagos also. We had the Thiago that played on the national team, and then we had the other Thiago that played for, I think we got him from Braga as well. There was a few different ones. Tahad Al-Khalej,
The center back.
Moroccan. And we had a few different guys. So Kenny won that one with one name. Unbelievable.
Kenny's one too.
Que vergonha.
Yeah,
No,
the first one's an
Oscar won.
asterisk.
And the last one, I'm going to start with Kenny. The letter is S.
Simão.
Bill,
Suck up there.
Ooh.
Oscar.
Silva. Rafa Silva. Can I start last time?
You just said it. It's
I'll go with another Silva. Bernardo Silva.
Okay. Bill.
David Simão.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a
Oscar?
good one. Shit.
Joaninha has a good one in the chat.
Seferovic.
Ooh. Good
Ooh,
one.
that's a good one. Kenny? Oh my God, there's 2 that are
Renato
obvious.
Sanchez.
Yep. Bill? Oh man, there's 3 obvious. Oh, there's so many in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oscar?
Svilar.
Yeah. You have to enunciate that one. Kenny?
Salvio.
Oh,
Oscar?
fuck.
Salihu Snate.
Who? Oh shit.
Yeah, Maite's first
No,
name.
you have
is
to
Sal-
pronounce it correctly.
I don't know.
You got it, Maite. Yeah, his
I
first
don't
name
know.
starts with an S. Kenny?
Semedo.
Fuck.
Nelson Semedo.
Ruben Semedo.
Oh fuck.
You didn't play for Benfica.
Oh yeah, he did. He's
Ruben. Oh shit, that's not the right.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Saros.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I had one more. Saviola.
Oh yes.
So let's look at the chat here. We got SLBS at Simão and Silvino.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
Silvio.
Juninho says
Saviola.
Saviola, Red Baron, Old School Stromberg, and Schwartz. He also said
Some Oscar. Oscar. What about your Greek?
Simões, Samaris.
Samaris.
Oh yeah.
Svilad, Suleimani,
Suleimani.
Oh boy.
and Silvio. Yep, he was also there. Who else did we have with an S? I can't believe no one said Saviola. Surprised by that.
I said at the end.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's more.
There's a
There
lot
was
more.
Alpha Samidu. He played with us half
Yeah,
a
Alpha
season.
Semedo is there. Yeah, he plays
Yeah.
with Guimarães now.
Yep. We've had a few. I feel like there's more missing, and we're not even thinking
There
about
was Smith
them.
on the team
Smith, no Smith.
back in the days where we went for the English.
No, we had Scott Mintu.
Scott
Mintu, left back. English, we had a lot of terribles, but I think he was the only yes. Gary Charles. We had Pringle from there, Brian Dean, Mark Pembridge, Gary Harkness.
Suleimani was a pull right there. Remember, dude, that era. There was 2 years there where we just went after players from that.
We had 7 Serbians.
Yeah.
On the team, Markovic,
it was Suleimani. It was that short guy that we loaned.
Judicic. Judicic, yeah.
Markovic.
Yeah.
We sold him, and then he busted.
Liverpool.
Yeah, we had Judicic. We had Mitrovic, the center back. We had Svilad. Oh no, Svilad came after. We had 4 or 5.
It was
Sabri. Oh my God! I have the
Sabri.
jersey under my desk. I'm disappointed by that. Abdel Sattar Sabri. Forgot about him.
Sydney
is another one. Juanini just said that. Good timing. Yeah, we've missed quite a few. S is a good one, but Bill, unfortunately, not so good.
Oh, dude, I Shell Cicada.
What about Simões?
Yeah, Simões was on there. Red Baron mentioned him. Simões. Matic doesn't start with an S. What's his first name? Oh, Nemanja. Yeah, it's not an S. Oh, he's saying SLB. Yes, is saying the Serbians. Yeah, he's another one.
Cicada. Sepsi.
Yes, Romanian left back. Sergei Ovchinnikov. Yes, Mark. That's a good one.
Serve.
Those are some tough years. He was a partnership with fucking Carlos Bossiu.
Suazo, man.
David Suazo. Yes. Damn, from Inter.
He was
Sergei
a fucking
Yudin.
tank.
That's another good shout. Damn,
Schaefer.
we had a lot of S's.
Schaefer.
Oh yeah, Schafford.
Schaffer.
What was he? Paraguayan? Argentinian, somewhere in South America. That's a good one too. Zé Soares, he's the guy that was he's the one that comments on Benfica TV, the bald guy. Amigo do Jardel com encheu de porrada. Yeah, we've had quite a few. Well, that was an interesting ending. Salvador Agra, yeah, but he never played.
What about Dean Saunders? Saunders, whatever his name is.
Dean Saunders, yeah, that was during the Graham Souness years.
Oh, there's another one. He was a coach though.
Graham Souness, yeah. Well, that was a good ending. To remind everyone to not forget to like, share, subscribe, follow. We will be back. Again, next week we're off, obviously, because Benfica doesn't play. We got the national team. After Benfica's next game, we will be in Portugal across the pond, hopefully with a victory against Liverpool, and against Braga. We'll be there for the Braga game.
Tune in for the lives.
Edwin Sanchez. That's a good shout.
Oh, yeah, Edwin Sanchez.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
So maybe we'll do our English podcast from Cidade Etelio on Monday night. On Sunday, Oscar says Pitoro's got Wi-Fi there. Maybe we could test it. I'll bring this microphone. It'll work. I could put it on a tripod, and maybe we can do it live from across the pond. We'll see.
Does Pitoro know you're going? That we're going? He
does? Oh, yeah, he told us. Yeah. He's probably got all the security out there, just making sure we don't cause any havoc over there. So stay tuned for all the lives. It'll be fun. We'll be back on Wednesday with the Portuguese podcast at 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then Thursday at 3:30 p.m. we have Rui Gomes da Silva on the podcast, former vice president of the club. He'll be here to chat with us about him. And he was an athlete for the club. He played hockey in Patins, but then talk a little bit about him, his life, his connection to the club, and then obviously, what it was like representing the club as a vice president, as a dirigent, and what he thinks of the current state of the club. He did say that after Luis Figueiredo won the elections that we'd be back here a year from then for elections. He got that right. So we'll kind of pick his brain and see what he thinks of the current state of the club. Thank you all for tuning in. Lots of familiar faces, some new ones. Joaninha, Red Baron, Mark, SLBES, Bruno. Who else? We got so many comments here. I got to keep scrolling. I'm probably missing some names.
Yeah, thanks for joining the conversation, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Again, don't forget, follow, like, subscribe, and we will catch you guys.
And change your clocks. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Change your clocks.
Yeah, don't be Oscar. Change your clocks. Have a good night, gentlemen, and we will chat soon.
Good night, guys.
Later, boys.